Former spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar presidential campaign in 2019 election in Nigeria, Segun Sowunmi, says he's still in the Ogun State governorship race on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in Ogun State. Sowunmi made this assertion in Abeokuta on Wednesday during a day workshop for ward party mobilizers and coalition agents from the 20 local government areas of the state ahead of the general election in Nigeria. He said he has instituted a case at the Supreme Court with the expression of optimism that he will emerge victorious as the governorship candidate of the PDP in the state. Meanwhile, Olusegun Edwards, special advisor on media to the former deputy national chairman of People's Democratic Party PDP Chief Olabode George, has tackled Segun Sowunmi over his call for the arrest of his principal, describing the outburst as a sign of frustration and disillusionment over a loss in a failed bid to become the governorship candidate of the party in Ogun State. Joining us now from our Abuja studio is Segun Sowunmi, PDP Chieftain and governorship candidate hopeful of the PDP Ogun State. Good to see you again, sir. Happy New Year to you. Let's go.
Rufai, how are you? It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. Let's go straight to it. What is really happening? Because a lot of people thought that things had moved on in Ogun State, and Adebutu is the candidate, campaigning is the top gear. So 8 days to the elections, a lot of people were taken aback when you said this. What is really happening?
Okay, although I didn't think that this was what I was coming for, but let me quickly deal with that so we can deal with more germane national issues. I've been in the Supreme Court for some time now. The case has not been called, but that does not mean the case has been rested or vacated. And that being so, it means that technically that the situation of who the real candidate in Ogun is not yet a settled matter. My prayer is that the Supreme Court will be kind enough to call that case so we can rest it one way or the other. I'm very confident of what the case is. I won it at the Court of Appeal. It's basically a situation where I'm saying you cannot build something on nothing. And I believe that, yes, the Supreme Court is overwhelmed with a lot of useless cases. Too many of them. But it's just one case that I have taken there. We've gone from the lower court to the Court of Appeal, and now we're at the Supreme Court. Save for me going to the Supreme Court to pull it out, it means that technically we're going to have to wait until that is that. And that's the way that is. I have deliberately not allowed the situation in Ogun to be too convoluted so that at least the party can go ahead and all of us can be busy. And we have been busy doing campaigns, we've been doing mobilization. But remember, Nigerians must know that ultimately it's the name of the party that is on the ballot. And I'm very confident that once the Supreme Court mercifully calls that case, I'll be the candidate. It's as simple as ABC.
All right, okay, so you talk about issues. Yesterday during the ward workshop, party ward workshop, you were talking about the fact that people should unite to mobilize for your presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. However, a few internal issues are distracting from this because a number of people are watching. I mean, you talked about your case before the Supreme Court, and then yesterday, Governor Samuel Ortom, who is a PDP chieftain and one of your PDP governors, has said that his cabinet should vote for Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Earlier, just a few minutes ago, during the newspaper review, we talked about the leanings of some of the PDP members and governors in particular as to who they'll be supporting, especially the southern governors. How does this What does this mean for the campaign of the Atiku Abubakar presidential aspirations? Because these are major distractions.
Okay, thank you very much. They are distraction, and we must not pretend that they are not. But thankfully, the new Electoral Act has reduced the ability of anybody to interfere with the election process significantly. Save for bringing your fans and mobilizing them to the polling units, we now know that by the BVAS technology and the hope of its working well, results are going to be transmitted immediately and all that. So I think that some of those people who are trumping their chest and thinking that they can, do magic like they used to do before in a crooked manner may find it that this Electoral Act will not allow them. That's that. The second thing is that with profound respect to those who are upset in the PDP, some of them are upset and some of us can be upset, but we have also been reasonable, consistent, and fair enough to stay within the party and not undermine the party. Those of them who say they are in the party but they are undermining the party, I think it is to their shame, their disgrace, and their lack of character. If you are so upset with the party, you should leave. You shouldn't stay in the party, carry the party platform, and then be saying you're upset to the party. That's not how this thing works. I know they will tell me that people have decamped before in the past, but at least the men who decamped in the past have the decency of saying, based on their reading of the things and their disagreement with the party at that time, they went somewhere else, and when they saw that the grass is not greener on the other side, they came back. This bunch of jokers are just disgraceful. And I think that it will not impact Atiku that much. All of the areas where they operate are areas that, PDP does well. And it will be seen how the electorate react. In any case, we know where the voting numbers are. And some of them may not even be able to pull as much weight as they think they are. Some of them are 2 times governors. And let me advise them and remind them to go back to history of what happened in 2003, when underneath the arrangement of the PDP then, some southern governors, in the southwest especially, assumed they were doing a deal with President Obasanjo of PDP with the intention of giving him the first election, and in a silly and gullible manner thinking that the electorate can be moved back to the second election. They should go and ask the likes of Chief Oshoba, the likes of the guy in Ekiti then, with the Bar of Lagos. Almost all those governors lost. And a song was sung to them after they had lost, which basically in Yoruba language means, look at these fools, they served them a cold turkey and now that's where they are. So those of them who are saying, oh, they are in PDP, they are candidates of the PDP, but on the same election that they are also interested in, they're going to undermine the first election so that they can take some benefit in the second election. Good luck to them. Atiku has been running for some time. And I always tell people, it's very difficult to measure the political reach of Atiku Abubakar. Is it the ones that are in 1992, some of them are still alive? The one in 99, some of the ones in 2003, all of the years. So the fact that everybody is not screaming and shouting and responding to them in a rude manner does not mean that Nigerians are not going to vote. And in the northern areas of the country where they have a history of good turnout, they have a history of large numbers at the polls, we'll see how much of their influence can go. Even in the areas where they think they are popular. This particular 2023 election is an experiment on many fronts. Unlike the former elections where it's a race between 2 main parties, we have about 3, if not 4. So let's see how it goes. I wish that Atiku will win. I pray he wins. He has given, in my opinion, some of the best answers, and he has the gravitas to solve the problem. And his mind is where it ought to be, and he's been very restrained, even in public space. But hey, if somebody else's win, I'll say congratulations. But I know for a fact, those who think that they will burn the chance of their party PDP, hoping that they can rescue it after they've lost it, they will realize only too late that they are cutting their nose to spite their face. It's not every day that a party decision favors you. You can go to court. That's the civil thing to do. You can look for, you can complain, you can agonize. But if you insist that you're going to destroy a party that has given you everything you've got, all the platform, all the opportunity, if you are calling press conferences every day as a governor and you are screaming and bellowing anyhow you like because of PDP, you need to ask yourself, go and check your classmates who did not get the opportunity of being governors in PDP, or who did not get the platform the way you got it. Have there not been decisions you have taken in the past that didn't go down well with some of us, and then we endured, we even pleaded with people to let it go? So I think this election is about the Nigerian people. Enough of all these cult of human personalities. Nigerians should go and vote according to their wishes and their desire, and may the best man win.
Okay, Mr. Sowunmi, real quickly. A lot of people will say, yes, you made that premise of 2003 and what happened. But people will tell you that the man that became the outlier in that phenomenon still exists and is still in this presidential race. That's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And give him his flowers when it's due. He was able to straddle both parts effectively. Some will make the argument, just maybe they can do it that way too. Just maybe they are learning from his playbook as regards that. What will you say about people that make that counter argument? And secondly, what would you also say about people that are sort of like leaving your party, doing anti-party activities like Governor Otom, opening a dozen other presidential candidates of another party, and they're still going to the courts to save them from the big hammer of your party? The likes of former Governor Nnamani too has gone that way too, to the court to save them from the big hammer of your party. Wike has gone that way. Otom has gone that way. The question is, who's next will go that way?
We have been in this party since 1998, and we've never left. And we've not really gotten any spoils to show for it. We've just been consistent and deliberate. I think it is a weakness on the part of the party not to have the courage to punish them. I think it is quite unfortunate that they were pampered longer than they should have been pampered. They ought to have been expelled. They ought to have been deregistered as members of the party. They ought to have written a letter to INEC telling INEC that PDP does not have a candidate there. The fact that they are going to court does not mean you are going to win in court. And if that be the case, I think that their childishness have gone on for too long. And if the party is weak and the leaders in the party are pandering to what they shouldn't pander to, good luck to the party. But I will say, Rufai, I've always been an advocate of the fact that political parties are the first safeguards in the democracy. What do I mean by that? If political parties are not strong and well run and obey their own rules and regulations, then we have a fait accompli for the citizens. Because it is what comes out from them that will now be the ones that the citizens will be choosing for. Frankly, how do you explain to yourself that high-standing members of a political party at that level are playing that kind of silly games? If they want to go to APC, they should go. Other people have gone, other people have come back. We have not created a culture of people standing firm like some of us. Those of them who are in the habit of going today, coming back, going today, coming back, how can Oton be saying this? He has always stayed in the party all of his life. I hear that in Benin, people are even greeting themselves. Yes, Father. Good morning, Father. Yes, Father. Oh, let's call a spade a spade. What is the real developmental trajectory of performance that somebody like Otom has to offer? If they are all riding on the performance of Governor Wike, and I feel Governor Wike's pain because he has really contributed immensely to this party, and I have begged him often that this day will pass. The fact that it's happening like this does not mean it won't be better. So more people now understand you. More people now see that you are reliable, trustworthy, and you can stand by your word even if the heavens will fall. Why do you want to destroy your party? Even if you say you are standing with the party, you alone cannot guarantee that we will win. This is a very tough election for all of us. And then to be undermining ourselves, for what reason? I don't think that is right. That's my position. And that little clown in Lagos I saying is responding to me. What I said, one second, what I said there was this. The media asked me that Chief George has said that the PDP leaders, Atiku or Ayu and Co are responsible or in cahoots with the federal government on these policies. And I said enough. If he knows that they are, if he has evidence, the police and the security agents should ask him to come and show cause or provide the evidence. We have allowed those of them that have big voices to always overheat the country. It's the same thing El Rufai and Co are doing. I am first and foremost always about Nigeria first. And then every other thing comes second. And in that Nigeria first, I hate people who incite the public to break down law and order. Hey, it's just a policy. I don't totally agree with all of that thing, but I don't think that it is right for them to be instigating, all of these things they're instigating. Have they hoarded money? Do they have money they want to put in the system? Are they trying to buy the election? Why shouldn't we be happy that for once Nigerians are going to be given an opportunity to vote according to their consciences? And the best man will win. If you do the work, if you do the campaign, if your message resonates, if the people trust you, if you can get your people to back you, then you will be the one that has the sovereign authority that all of us have given to you in a democracy. You cannot be challenging the man that has the sovereign authority to do the job when you don't have it. And that Nasiru, that Governor El Rufai, go and ask him, when was the last time he was complaining about fuel scarcity? Has he not been in this country? They don't complain about the things that affect the Nigerian people. It is only the things that affect them and their greed and their wantoness on money. People have always said Nigerians like their money, but I didn't think that our leaders love their money this much.
Oh, you didn't think so? Interesting. Okay, Mr. Sowunmi, I just wanted to ask you, I mean, just as we said earlier on, or I mentioned that this was a major distraction, we spent a considerable amount of time just talking about the internal crisis within the PDP and not facing the issues. I'm just buttressing the point that this is a major distraction for your campaign. But let's go to what you said when you were speaking to the party was. You said that people should be wary of election manipulations. Also, a few days back, the PDP accused the opposition party of orchestrating this naira scarcity to trigger a crisis and, as a form or way of election manipulation as well. I'd like you to share with us have you gotten intelligence or perhaps information as to individuals, groups trying to manipulate the elections, and what are they trying to do?
You see, there are too many speculative, non-verifiable, without evidence statements just running all over the place. And I blame the security agencies for not understanding that the decay that causes a society to implode, it doesn't come when you see the implosion. You must track people who make unguarded comments. You must track people who incite society. You must track people who try to undermine the country. As far as I have always been in public space, I never make assertions that we don't have evidence. I always weigh on the side of what is going to be in the best interest of all of us. Hey, it's a couple of days' time. We'll go and vote. And the votes will count. INEC has tried. They've told us that this system is a little bit foolproof. We need to infuse integrity of hope into our own system. And it's only an election, it's not war. There's nothing you want to promise Nigeria as a candidate that there are no other Nigerians that can promise better. So what happens? Awolowo died in Nigeria, Nigeria is still standing. Azikwe died in Nigeria, Nigeria is still standing. Tafawa Balewa died in Nigeria, is still standing. Who are these fellows that are making it seem that if it is not them, Nigeria cannot stand? So as far as I am concerned, my challenge is to security and to General President Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. President, you have tried to be, firm and to also be flexible at the same time. But never allow anybody in this country, no matter how highly placed, to overheat our country for us. Because our share number does not even suggest that any of our neighbors can manage us. And why should we be the biggest, most populous nation in Africa, in Black Africa, and that we're coming to do an election, and we're pretending as if, we have saints on the board. We don't have all that of saints. We're just a democracy that doesn't have consequence. Because if we had been a democracy where there is consequence for misbehavior, a lot of people that are screaming and shouting now would not even be allowed. They'll probably be cooling off in jail. And therefore my appeal and my admonition is this. We have all been campaigning in poetry. We have all been dancing and going up and down the place. We have all been pushing our messages. The obedient have pushed theirs. The Kwankwanseyas have pushed theirs. The Bola Tinubus have pushed theirs. We, PDP and Atiku Abubakar, have said national unity is critical. Creating jobs is critical. Managing the economy is critical. Stemming out all these insecurity matters is critical. Making sure that we structure Nigeria is critical. Nigerians. President Muhammadu Buhari has even added an extra gift. He has removed the ability for money misroad rogues to come and take money that they've hoarded and come and buy your conscience. Now they won't even have that kind of ability. Wouldn't you embrace the opportunity for once to vote according to your conscience? I will be the first person to congratulate the winner, because at least I would know that we have reduced the ability for the thing to be manipulated. And if you say there is crisis or people are talking, PDP is a political organization and democratic in the real sense. People are allowed to ventilate and talk. When it gets too much, you say, no, this is getting too much. The other ones who are the members of the APC, Nasiru and the gang, they are the ones taking the president to court. They didn't even join CBN because they are trying to manipulate the process. For if they had joined CBN, they would have started from the Federal High Court. Why are they in a hurry? Are their own followers needing more money than ours? Have they not been the one in charge of the Commonwealth for some time in the real sense of the word? Don't tell us you like these people of Nigeria more than you have shown. People have been dying in Kaduna. People have been hungry there. People have been queuing for petrol for weeks on end. That did not concern you. If the federal government in his wisdom has taken a policy and the CBN is enacted and empowered by act to regulate cash supply and a few other things according to the law, allow the law to be. Stop overeating the polity.
Okay, real quickly, I'd like to take your opinions on two things. At first, Mr. Fani Kayode issue with the DSS now, based on the things he said and his reaction now that he's backtracking for the things he said, and the speech yesterday by Nasir Ahmed El Rufai, CEO and that's Kaduna State Governor.
Well, I think that if it was not that this country jokes too much, I think that with profound respect, you can't make weighty allegations and expect that security will leave you. I'm always very cautious when it comes to FFK because of our deep relationship. And I respect his style, but you can't make those kind of allegations. And thankfully, and in courageous bravery, he has gone there. I don't see why DSS will be having a rule for the goose and another one for the gander. People like Bode George who were saying that some people are the ones behind it should also be invited. Nasiru may not be able to be tried, but the law does not say he cannot be invited. You see, when we pander to, we will apply the law to this one, and then we'll pretend that this one is above the law. That's how we hurt the entire system. Even if you cannot charge him now, you can still invite him. You can tell him to come and show cause. You can investigate him more. You can do a sting operation around him. You can check EFCC to look at him. You can have DSS to profile him. We all have to obey the law. We cannot allow it to break down. If it does, we are going to become a hubris society where miscreants will be the ones dictating. And I know they are type. 5 minutes before the crisis will start, they will jump onto their ill-gotten private jets and jet out of the country, leaving poor Nigerians like you and I to face the brunt of the dislocation. We will not allow that. It's just an election. PDP has lost election before. The heavens did not fall. If APC is going to lose, let them lose. If any other person is going to lose, let them lose. But let democracy continue to work. Why do you want to even provide an opportunity for a fait accompli like it's being rumored that some people are even working towards an interim government? What kind of sense, how much sense does that make? We have only 9 days. We can endure. And the security agencies must be very firm. They must never allow pampered people in the society to overheat our country. That's the position I have.
All right, very quickly, I just want to ask you, straight question. What's this thing going on between you and Chief Olabode George, a chieftain of the PDP whom you...
There's nothing going on.
Well, you did speak, and you and his spokesperson had a back and forth because of the statement you had made concerning the fact that he should be invited by the DSS over statements that he made. And they said that you shouldn't have spoken to an elder like that. And then, you alluded to that earlier on. So what's really going on there? It would be nice to hear your part of the story.
Chief George is like a dad to me. They do, between himself and Chief Obasanjo and such men, they are like my fathers. And I've watched him, run whatever he's running now for this period for so many times, always running to the media. And I've been asking myself, Governor Wike is in his 50s, I'm in my 50s, so we are colleagues. So if Chief Olabode George, that turn on Yoruba, can carry himself and go and be doing yes to a young man who is my age mate, is he not going to come home and tell me that I cannot offer him an opinion? What was the issue? The media was asking me that, Chief George has said that they should go and arrest Ayu, go and arrest Atiku and blah, 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 that our own PDP people have a hand in this currency problem and the fuel and all that. And I said, he said that? Everybody knows that I'm in court with them because they didn't treat me right at the primary. Could I really have been that friendly with Joshua? But I'm always fair. I am always very fair. And I said, well, he can't say that because he wouldn't have any evidence. And that it would be best for the security to arrest him, ask him to provide the evidence of where Yosha Ayu or any of the people he has mentioned, including Tambua and Atiku, were the ones that sat down with Buhari to make that policy. I'm not going to take that back. Anybody who comes and starts saying that, oh, yeah, Yoruba man shouldn't have done this, should an elderly man be talking anyhow in public space? And if his minion is telling me I'm frustrated over what? How can I possibly be frustrated? I'm as cool as a cucumber. I'm only waiting for only one case. I didn't set up 20 cases disturbing the court and wasting the time of the court. It's just one case. And I have a right. I won it at the Court of Appeal. I've gone to the Supreme Court for a declarative order. They've not called it. Am I supposed to tell you that, oh, I've lost it or I've won it? I said I'm still in the race. So there's no frustration anywhere. For me, Wanting to serve is a very secret responsibility that we can show that these things can be done differently. And I'm not going to lose sleep if the people don't want me to serve them. If they don't want me to serve them, at least I can be sitting in my house and be eating my gari and eba. Right. As much as I've always sometimes supported General President Buhari, have you ever seen me say that I'm going to the village to go and lobby them for anything? Okay. Do I know Emefiele before I'm supporting this policy? Okay. They are not serious.
Okay, thank you so much. Guns blazing, Chief Segun Sowunmi this morning. Thank you so much for that.